Welcome. This is the Andy Mutua podcast. And we call this segment the Convo Corner. And it's an opportunity for me to sort of have a conversation with one of my friends. And I'm happy to introduce a good friend of mine, a gentleman that I think we got to know each other through the Toastmaster circles. Must have been, I think the first one was what? Was it a convention or some kind of a summit we met here in Kigali?
Yeah, Andrew. Yes, good to be here. I have no idea the kind of people that drop in here, but it's a delight to be on this platform. And thanks for the invite. Yes, I think the first time we met was at a Toastmaster convention here in Kigali. It's not been actually very long since that happened. And I remember in that meeting, we just struck a conversation around Toastmasters and the need for effective communication and leadership development. And then from there, we happen to now belong in the same Toastmaster club. So it's been a fun ride, I think. And it's a pleasure to be able to drop in here on your own platform and engage with you on this forum.
Great. And maybe you could take a bit of a moment, Kizito. My guest is called Kizito. I think I didn't correctly introduce him. We just went straight into trying to, give you sort of a backstory of how we met and what has led to this now. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you also have got your own YouTube channel. I don't know what kind of message you're pushing there and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, my name is Kizito Nyoitimbi. Originally, I'm from Cameroon, a village boy from the west coast of Africa. And I've been in Kigali now for 5 years. I came here in 2018. I did my master's here. I studied at Carnegie Mellon University, Africa. And since then, I've been working here. Prior, I started working as a machine learning engineer. Currently, I'm in the project management space, especially within the IT industry. So I run a podcast, like Andrew mentioned. I have my own YouTube channel where I talk predominantly about people skills development, and that involves a lot of disciplines, but fundamentally, it's about developing skills that enable us to interact better with other people and also build ourselves in a better way so that we can get better results when we interact in the social arena and in line of our careers, our personal lives, our family lives, our community life, and all of those things. So I engage topics such as effective communication, public speaking, emotional intelligence, navigating different cultures, how to present yourself out there in a way that you come off as more credible, more trustworthy, and just a better player to engage with when you meet other people. So that's a little bit about me. The channel itself is called People Skills. So I think through Andrew's platform, you might be able to get access to it in the links below or something like that. So hopefully, yeah. I have lost sound, Andrew. I don't know what is going on.
Sorry, I had muted myself and forgot about that. Yes, so I said, yes, definitely we'll put your channel, your links on the description box for people to consume your content and sign and subscribe. Um,
Exactly.
and actually, that's what led to this. Getting to understand you more,
Mm-hmm.
your background, and sort of what you're sort of into, which is, as you said, people skill development. And we've had discussions more so centering around personal development, and
Yeah.
and, and one of sort of some of the things we've been discussing is sort of what are the kind of traps one finds themselves caught up, particularly when they begin a journey around self-development. And I want first to begin by looking at the industry in and of itself. I was looking at some of the stats, and it says this is an industry. If you look at it in dollar value, it has a market value as of today around $42 billion. It's a major industry, and it's actually set to grow. So it's not just stopping it, and it's not like it has plateaued or depreciating. I think we are seeing more and more people trying to figure out ways to self-develop, or rather to develop and grow themselves, be it around career, relationships, financially, all spheres of our lives. And that's evident. I mean, if you just need to take a quick visit to your local bookstore, and you see there's actually a dedicated section of personal development books. If you go online, you probably get bombarded by adverts of somebody asking you to sign up, or you come across some of these gurus pushing their message, these motivation gurus and the like. What do you think has led to this growth of the industry, and what is it that many people are gravitating towards it and making, investments in either a book, a video, a course, whatever it might be?
Well, I think fundamentally what has led to the boom in the personal and the development industry is globalization, fundamentally. We live now in a world where it's so easy to know what a kid in North America is able to achieve, and somebody in South America is able to do, and somebody in Russia, and all of those things. And we have visibility not only to the statistics of what they are able to do, but to the lifestyle, at least the ones that they choose to show us. People, we do know, we see these things on social media. I think that because of that exposure that we have now, because we are able to see what other people are able to do or claim to have achieved, we have a more, we are driven very much more to try and improve ourselves as well. So a part of it is there's globalization. There is sharing of information now on social media that involves video, especially pictures and all of those things. And people advertise these lifestyles in a way that, it gets you interested. You want to be there. You want to also have such a life. And then there is also the aspect of, actually, we are facing a new types of problems fundamentally with the advancing technology and also the increasing standards of living. If I can give you an example, Andrew, for instance, now, I don't think there has ever been a period in history where we are so concerned about mental health, for instance, right? And mental health today is a topic that cuts across almost everywhere on the internet. We worry about it in the workplace and all of these things. Because we have addressed some of the problems that would naturally occupy our minds, we now get to even start looking for problems. I say looking because
literally, we are creating problems.
Somehow, I mean, it's almost like, okay, now I don't have to worry about food. I don't have to worry about shelter. I don't have to worry about any fundamental life basic necessity. So I feel like it gets to a place where people can even sit and think of, what now is my problem? And then you can find that, okay, you are mentally where you imagine you would have been is not where you are. And so now you have a mental health problem. Because if you look at the self-development industry itself, mental health is one of the major areas of self-development today. It used to be something like fitness and all of those things, but now mental health is taking a lead, is leading in that space. Why? Is it that we have too many things that are disturbing our minds today more than 10 years ago? Not necessarily. It's the exposure to these types of things that give us an imagined reality. And then we want to compare that with where we actually sit And the fact that we actually somehow don't have real problems, if I may call it that way. So our problems are more mental than physical, if I can say. Yeah. So there are those things. There is globalization. There is the fact that we have addressed some of the basic needs that normally occupy our minds. And now we want to focus on higher needs, or let's say needs that are not very much physical. And then there is also the part that, okay, right now in the world as it is, fundamentally, we all know that you can always get better. And because there are people pushing this message, there are people talking about the fact that you can always get better. And we subscribe to that mindset because we do know for real we can get better. So it just goes further to increase the size of the self-development industry. And the statistics show that it is more appealing to millennials and generations that are coming below millennials than to, let's say, the baby boomers, and there's a reason for that. We are the ones that grew in a world that was increasingly becoming globalized as opposed to those that came before us. So I think those are some of the reasons that are making this industry grow, and it is going to keep growing so long as we have this further sharing of information, further sharing of lifestyles. And we also focus a lot on, okay, what is going on in my mental space, and imagining where it should have been, as opposed to, this is where I am and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think you've broken it quite well. So it's kind of like it's a journey towards self-actualization, thinking of it maybe in the concept of the Maslow hierarchy of needs.
Exactly.
So now that some of our basic needs have already been catered for, so what else is there? How can we continually enrich?
Yeah.
Talk of enrich our experience in this world when you are alive. So yes, so it's a journey towards self-actualization. It's good you brought up that aspect of globalization and the impact it's having that we get to look at our lives within, the various contexts we are in and sort of compare with people that are miles away. I don't know how good or bad that is. And you've brought up also the concept of mental health, and how we are, in a sense, living in an age of great privilege and with great, all the creature comforts are all around us, but yet it seems like we are unhappy. We are literally creating. If you take a trip to some of these Western cities and look at what people are clamoring for, you sort of, particularly if you're coming from Africa, where some of these things we put them as privileges. It's interesting.
Right.
And